So what we're going to do is we're going to shift gears and go into branding right now, because there are a lot of people in here that have access to the equipment to get them starting on podcasting and creating their shows. So when it comes to building a brand as an on-air personality, you talked about consistency. What are some other things that the people that are getting started need to really build a solid brand that will allow their show, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a radio show on the internet radio, or even on terrestrial radio, how to take their show from where they are to the next level, whatever that next level may be?
I think the usage of social media is extremely beneficial, you know, and and then you have to ask yourself, what do I want to represent? What is my brand? And what do I want to represent with my brand? You know, one thing I would say is just be true to you. You know, there's over 7 billion people on the planet Earth, right? And not one person has your DNA or your fingerprint. So be the best you that you can be. Don't try to establish your brand based off of someone else. That's difficult. That's hard, you know, trying to uh, pattern yourself or your brand off of someone else. Be authentically you. You know, you're created very unique. So stay true to yourself. But using social media platforms to help establish that brand is going to be highly beneficial. You know, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's, you know, some of you, the TikTok and Snap, as well as YouTube and Facebook, whatever the platform is, be consistent with it. Okay. I can plug any one of my social media platforms and you'll see. And I have two brands. I have Flow of Wisdom, right? And I have Sean Anthony. Now it's Sean Anthony Live. It's a new brand. I'm constantly evolving over the years. It's funny because I still talk to my old radio and television teacher from high school. Um, she's remained very instrumental throughout my career since I graduated from the Fort Hayes Career Center program here in Columbus, Ohio. One of the things that she made notice of to me about a year ago, we were talking, and she's like, you know what, Sean Anthony, I've always noticed how you've constantly evolved your brand over the years. And it made me really take a step back. I'm like, wow, you know, you're right, because about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, my brand was the hip hop motivator. You know, I was focused heavily on the speaking realm. I was doing a lot of speaking engagements and doing motivational speaking. I was speaking in universities across Virginia and throughout Virginia and places here in Ohio and churches and seminars and being the moderator for the Virginia Special Olympics and all sorts of things. So I had my press kit for as a speaker, and in addition to being a radio personality. Um, but that has evolved. I no longer go by that moniker, right? When I started to create and curate Flow of Wisdom, I'm like, what is this brand? And let me tell you something, guys. If you don't know, it's okay. Okay. One of my good friends, very wealthy friend of mine, he's a real estate guru, if you will. But one of the things he told me years ago, he said, Sean, um, you don't have to get it right, just get it going. Okay. You don't have to get it right, just get it going. You'll work out the kinks, you'll evolve, you'll figure out what doesn't work and what will work. When I first started Flow of Wisdom, before it is what it is today, man, I was doing topics like Jerry Springer topics on the radio. It was crazy. I was all over the place, but I was trying to find my identity, right? And that only happens by constantly doing it over and over and over and over again. It got very frustrating in the beginning stages, but I had to learn how to evolve as a talk radio show host. That was another learning curve in itself. The bulk of my career, I've been doing music format radio. Then I started doing talk radio. See, music format radio, music is your crutch, right? But when you start doing talk radio, people listening to the host, you have to provide the content. It wasn't the music or a song. So it was challenging, and I had to go through some learning curves in the very beginning, developing flow of wisdom, but I kept pressing on. I went through the growing pains, and I've evolved.
Sounds good. So here's the question that with all of these personalities that we have listening to us and those that are watching by way of video, how do you separate when you're out in public, Sean Anthony, the radio personality, Sean Anthony, flow of wisdom that the general public hears, as opposed to Sean Anthony, the man who's hanging out with his friends or the man that's hanging out with family when the general public sees you in person, not at a radio event?
How do I separate the two? Um,
Is it even possible?
yeah, it's possible because when I'm not in the studio or at an event, I'm 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 first of all, I'm very chill. I'm very laid back, and you guys know me. You're around me at the school. Um, I'm Here's the thing: being a radio personality, it's part of your personality. That's why it's called being a radio personality. So, what people hear on the radio, it is me. It's a part of me, but it's not all of me, right? Um, That's why sometimes people back in the day, they would be shocked, when they would meet me, like, yo, why are you so chill? Why are you so laid back? Because that's how I am. I'm not getting paid to host this event right now. I'm not getting paid to broadcast on the air right now. So this is who I am. And people will see that I'm more chill, I'm more nonchalant, I'm more laid back in person. But then you will get glimpses of that Sean Anthony on air personality, especially at the school, because I have a passion for teaching. So some of that personality, that fun, that energetic energy will come out in the classroom at times. That sense of humor, that wit will come out while I'm in class, or even if I'm at a lounge chilling with some friends, just hanging out. But it's for me, I'm pretty consistent though. What you see is what you get. I'm not phony. I'm not like, you know, I'm not fronting for anyone. Just that when I'm on the radio, it's part of me, but it's a little bit more lively, if that makes sense. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. And right now, again, for everybody that's just tuning in, you're tuning into the Beonair Forum. Right now, we're 3 minutes past the hour. You are tuning in right now to an interview with Sean Anthony, the host of Flow of Wisdom and the weekend personality on Magic 95.5. If you have any questions, make sure to put it into the chat so that we can see you and we can give you a chance to ask your question. And remember, ask your question, turn off your mic so that our guest Sean Anthony can answer the question. With that being said, let's pivot and switch over to Sarita Johns. If you have a question, you have the floor.
Hello, how you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. So my question was, I'm a recent graduate of Ohio Media School, and I have two podcasts. I have Bronx Tells the podcast where I talk about everything is raw, raunchy, and real. Then I have BJ the Gamer Show because I am a girl gamer. So it's not hard like actually having two podcasts. What I see myself getting problems with is I have it both of them are on iHeartRadio platform, but I'm trying to build my followers and be able to monetize it and go and be able to do different events like you were saying like that. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get myself out of it, like out more. And
Do you have social media platforms that's branding those podcasts?
yes.
So are you posting clips or excerpts of your podcast on other social media platforms?
No, I don't post the actual podcast. I do the links for the iHeart.
What about an excerpt, a clip of the podcast? But see, and this is what I'm going at. I mean, whether you do it or not, this is a great question. What I would do is take clips, because what you want to do is promote. Just putting the link out for people, and people not know. It's like when you get an email and someone says, here, click on this link. You're like, hold up, I ain't clicking on this link. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Give them something that incentivize them to click on the link, right? So maybe you talked about something that's raw and raunchy, and play a 45-second clip on Instagram and say, hey, check out more, click the link in my bio, right? Or take a clip and post it on Twitter, or create a clip of it and upload it to YouTube, and then share that on your Twitter and your Facebook page. Say, hey, here's a clip of what we talked about. This was raunchy and real on our podcast. What do you think? To hear the whole entire podcast, click on the link. You see what I'm saying? So, that's a way that you can start to build more momentum and getting people to check out the podcast. When you start to, that's syndication. That's syndicating your platform, right? I have a host, and Philip, you can just let me know when you got to move. I'm going to share my screen if you guys don't mind, real quick. Let me show you.
Go for it.
This is a podcast that I produce. I'm an executive producer for. Oh, hold on a second. Let me pull this up here. Bear with me, guys. That's not it.
And as Sean is pulling up everything, again, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you throw your questions in. We're going to get to a point probably at 2:20 where we're going to do rapid fire, where if we haven't gotten to all of your questions, we're going to rapid fire. We're going to give you the opportunity to ask your question, and then you get 60-second shot to answer it. So that rapid fire will be coming up in about 13 minutes. So Sean, you ready to go?
Yep. Let me switch back and let me go ahead and share. Okay, so this is a podcast that I executive produce. Let me know, can you see it? Can you see this, Philip? It says Simplecast.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a platform that my client uses to post his podcast. Well, I post it for him. Simplecast is a place where you guys can use as well. I'm sure you guys have heard of Anchor, where you will upload your podcast and then it syndicates it to all other platforms. You guys understand that? So just to take a look at this, the dashboard, kind of exposing you guys to my client's page. So, this is the podcast that I executive produced, called the Point of Impact podcast with Rick McDaniel. And, it gives you all these analytics, how many downloads in the last 7 days. You can see all-time downloads, which country you're being featured, is you're getting the most views at, when the most popular day is, so on and so forth. You can look at the different episodes. And let me show you something here. I'm doing this for a reason, because I want to show you guys how consistency pays off. Look at this. Look at all of the episodes that he's got, and they all have unique titles, the day, the time, and all of that. So you want to be consistent. Find you a platform that will syndicate it out there for you. So, for example, like with Flow of Wisdom, it's a radio show. I'll take that audio, download it into, and then upload it into Adobe Audition. I would edit out the radio commercials, and then I would create a video, right? Either using Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere. And then I would, save it as an MP4, upload it to YouTube, right? Upload it to YouTube. And then I would post it to my WordPress blog site. So once I create a blog a post on WordPress, I've got it set up to where as soon as I hit publish, it automatically goes to my Facebook page, my Flow of Wisdom Facebook page, my Flow of Wisdom Twitter page, my Sean Anthony Twitter page, so on and so forth. So that's syndicating. So you want to be able to have your podcast on a platform that just by a click of a few buttons, it will go out onto all social media platforms.
Sounds good. So let's open up the floor real quick. Christine Burns. Barnes, sorry. Christine, you've got the floor. Go ahead and ask your question, and we're going to get ready to have some other people answer as well.
Hi, I'm graduating from Ohio Media School this week, and I really like when I came. It was like I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I instantly, dove in with the radio and stuff like that. And so now I'm just really looking for like, do you have any recommendations or any tips for like kind of presenting yourself? It's like you don't want to be like you want to be able to reach different demographics and stuff like that, but at the same time like still stay true to yourself. Like, I don't know if I said it.
I'm not sure I quite understand your question, but here's the dope thing about some of the social media platforms, such as YouTube, WordPress, I'm sure Wix as well, Twitter, and even Instagram. You can look at your analytics and see what demographic you reach, and you want to be able to, and I understand people want to broaden their horizon and reach other demographics, but you also have to ask yourself, which demographics am I appealing to, right? So, for example, my Sean Anthony page is the when I look at the analytics, I appeal more to women between the ages of 25 to 54. So I'm going to make sure that the content I post, it makes sense that it will appeal to women, right? My Flow of Wisdom platform, when I look at the analytics of that, my content for Flow of Wisdom appeal to men between the ages of 25 to 54. So I have to be cognizant to post content that's going to appeal to my target demographic. This is crucial. Every radio station, every television station deals with target demographics. And some of you may have heard that before at the Ohio Media School. I know that if you're in my class or Philip Bufford's class, we talk about target demos. When I worked on the radio for Power 107.5 here in Columbus, which is a hip hop station, the target demo is female 18 to 35, 18 to 34. Now I'm on Magic 95.5. We play R&B, and stop saying old school. We don't play no old school music, okay? We play the new Beyonce, son. But the target demo for Magic 95.5 is female 25 to 54. So you have to know who you are appealing to and cater to that audience.